This is Dimitri. On Thursday, oh, let's drop that. On Thursday, I talked to legal aid on the hotline. This is a hotline now for older Americans. And they promised me, since I have proof that I have sent 3 times from the U.S. Bank, that I was getting my full benefit amount, which wasn't very much, to Des Moines and Alex Cornea, that he didn't want to present to legal aid. I had to live in the street for a few years while I took all of my Social Security money and bought some more tools of my trade. But I still couldn't get medical care, which the local Social Security office said, don't worry, they're going to get me care. And what ended up happening, after I schmoozed with the authorities at a local hospital, that I found out that the medical care they wanted to get me was to have me locked up permanently. And they weren't going to take care of the injury that was inflicted by federal pigs on me in Leavenworth. And I was told by a woman who thinks I didn't record her that I'd be hearing from an attorney real soon who was going to do this over so that I would get not only my full benefit amount, but the back pay that they've owed me for 16 years. That's a lot of money. But they don't want to do that either. They lied to me. And I don't like being lied to. Yesterday, I recorded an episode that took a while, and the hotline for older Americans hung up on me by not even allowing me to talk to anybody, but I left a message, and I was told that message would be returned, and it hasn't. So now, I'm going to directly confront the person who did that. And if I can't, then I'm going to have to deal with assholes who just answer the phone. And I think I'm going to do that first. As soon as I get them on the line, I will resume this videotape. It's all on a card, it's digital, but I'm an old fart, so I think in different terms. Be back in a little bit. Well, you know, in music and in life, timing is everything. It is 9 o'clock. It is time for their wake-up call. They're open at 9, allegedly. Punch in my secret code. Then I go to my phone, and then I go to my phone history. This does not get you directly to Des Moines, but it's close enough for jazz. Let's see what happens. This is the dignity that you get. Wasn't busy a minute ago, just a few seconds ago. Distressing, no? This is the Des Moines number. Well, let's try something else. We'll try the local number. Let's see what happens.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español, favor oprimir intake worker. Iowa Legal Aid, this is Leslie. How may I help you?
Hello, Leslie. I was told on Thursday on the hotline for older Americans that I was going to receive a call since Mr. Cornea decided to be sleeping with the enemy, and he didn't want to present evidence which shows that there was no overpayment ever.
Okay. Did you need to do a new application, Jack?
What I need to do is I need to talk to the hotline, who seems to not want to answer their hotline. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay, they usually what happens with the hotline is if you have to leave a message for them.
You know, I left a message, and I was told that the hotline was going to find me a lawyer who was not a crook and didn't work with the federal government. Now, before I write this grievance to your LLC in Washington, I'm going to have to certify that I'm being hosed by the hotline for older Americans, because I'm told by other older Americans that that's what they do to them too. So if you could put me through to whoever supervises that hotline so that they answer it, I'd appreciate that.
Let me see if they're available, okay?
They'd better be.
Click on Need Help Finding Information in the green box if you need help finding information. A website specialist can chat with you by instant message and help you find
They
information.
won't do that either.
New information is continually being added to the Iowa Legal Aid website, so visit our website regularly at iowalegalAid.org. Iowa Legal Aid's community legal education booklet and Equal Justice Journal newsletter are available free of charge to low-income Iowans. To receive Iowa Legal Aid's newsletter, the Equal Justice Journal, tell the intake work that you want to be added to the mailing list. Let us know a question or a problem involving a pension or retirement plan. We can help. Iowa Legal Aid provides hope,
They won't
dignity,
help
and
you.
justice
They
to the
could.
low-income people
They
of Iowa.
can help you.
Unfortunately, each
But
year
they won't.
many are turned away for lack of funds.
No, you turn
can
them
bring
away
hope into
because
their
you're
lives with your
pigs,
charitable contributions.
shysters,
Let
and
us know if
liars.
you're having tax problems. We can
If
help.
you're having a
If
tax
you are a
problem, go to
low-income
H&R
worker,
Block.
You may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit. Ask for information about the Earned Income Tax Credit. Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Someone will be with you shortly. Iowa Legal Aid does not handle criminal legal problems. You can apply for
They
legal help
caused
on our
them,
website,
because of what they did in
iowalegal.org.
1996 to me.
Apply online
I
here
spent
option
2
on the
years in a
homepage.
federal prison
We take applications by phone
where I
Monday through
never got
Friday
kosher
from
food,
9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
and I lived on
and
bread
from
and
1:30
water.
p.m. to 3:30 p.m. except
I
Thursday
lost a
afternoon.
little weight,
If you are calling during
needless
these
to
times,
say.
please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about your income and assets to see if you are eligible.
They know all
You may
about
need to wait
that.
because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up.
large
If you
number
are
of
calling for
calls.
help outside of our application times, please either apply for service
This
online
is
or
the
call back during
application
those
time.
times.
It started
If you are calling
it
for another
started 10
reason,
minutes
please
ago.
stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has
Actually,
hundreds of
I
resources.
paused
To
it.
find information about the law from the homepage, click on Legal
Started a
Topics.
little longer
Click
than
on
that.
Need Help Finding Information in the green box if you need help finding information. A website specialist can chat with you by instant message and help you find information. New information is continually being
I
added
think
to
I
the
have all
Iowa
the
Legal Aid
information I
website.
need.
So visit our website
I'm
regularly
just
at
verifying
Iowa
it today.
Okay, Jeff?
Yes. You know, wait a minute. Just a moment. We want to provide dignity to the older, low-income Americans, right? My name is Mr. Soberoff.
Mr. Soboroff, Alex is supposed to be taking your calls because he's working on your case.
Alex, wait a minute, just a minute. I have not got a letter from Alex saying anything other than he was not going to work on my case any longer.
Well, they've reopened it since you
Oh,
called.
they reopened it. Well, I haven't received any kind of verification.
Well, you can ask Alex to send
Well,
that.
then I'll tell you what. You connect me with his rectum.
I will change you to his voicemail. He's on the
No. Voicemail? No voicemail today.
Hello, you've reached the office of Alex Portnia. I'm not available to take your call at this time. Please leave a message. If this is an emergency, please dial 0 for a receptionist. Thank you.
After the tone, please record your message. When finished, you may hang up to deliver the message or press pound for more options.
Now, I talked to an attorney who's been helping me with your bullshit. And I can assure you that after I give up $400 this month because my landlord is going to let me slide on rent, that pretty soon you are not going to be an attorney anymore, whether or not you help me with this. Now, I've got things to do, Alex, so I expect to get a call back from you pronto damn Dante. I also haven't received a letter from you saying that you're going to reopen my case and you're not going to be in bed with the enemy. I expect to receive that too pronto Dante. Now, I'm going to give you just a few minutes to hear your message and call me. And you're going to be polite. And you're going to call me Mr. Soberoff, because that's my name. I'm not your friend, and I'm going to do my best to get your ass disbarred, because for 4 years I slept in the street because of you. And you insisted on getting information that you knew you couldn't get because it was older than 7 years old. Well, I've got information that's only 6 years old, and it proves that there was never an overpayment and that I was getting my full benefit amount in 2014. And that information came from the U.S. Bank. A bank apparently that you didn't want to talk to even after I sent you those documents, which were the same, but they had a different date on them because I got them 4 years ago. And I mailed those to you. But apparently, when I mail to the Des Moines office, the post office doesn't seem to work. I don't believe that, Alex. I think you at least got three of the three copies of information from the U.S. Bank that I sent you. And by the way, when I sent you those, I had to borrow the postage. I didn't want to mess with my friends' wallets that much, so I didn't send them certified registered mail. And that meant you could put them in the round file. Can't do that again, Alex. Now you're going to stop screwing with me. Now the government, Social Security, owes me money from February of 2002. And I want that retro check. And you're going to either get it for me, or I'm going to have my website crew come up to Des Moines. Actually, I got some there because there's a fair degree of drug dealing up there. And they're going to follow your ass home, and they're going to take pictures of your house. And I'm going to show the world the luxury you live in. Well, I was sleeping in a goddamn dumpster. I think that's only fair, don't you? And this is not a threat. This doesn't have anything to do with anything, except the fact that you're a pimp. I just sent Alex that message. It is 9:15. I'm going to wait till Alex calls me back. And I'm going to pause this, which means I won't be able to use my laptop and have any entertainment at all. This is Dmitry Ivanovich. We'll be right back. Kind of.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid.
A website.
Iowa Legal Aid, how may I help you?
Yes, I had called the direct number to Des Moines. And since I haven't received any paperwork from Alex saying that he's going to be doing my case again, I'm going to have to assume that since that office hung up on me by not answering the phone, and the internet is going to see that phone rang, and then you decided to put it, or your colleagues decided to
Okay, let
give me
me
a
see if
business.
Alex is in. Here, many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their lives with your charitable contributions. Let us know if you're having tax problems. We can help.
Not a
If
good
you're a
idea.
low-income worker, you may be eligible.
Alex is in, but his line is busy. I can put you to his voicemail.
I just left him a message and I told him that, well, look, this stuff's being recorded. I can hold, or I can call you back in 2 minutes.
I can put you to his voicemail.
You can put me to Alex. This has
Sure
gone
thing.
on for 4 freaking years.
Hello, you've reached the office of Alex Ornier.
Not
Not
good.
available to take your call at this time.
It's like calling a girlfriend who's pissed at you. You pussy. Well, we can do that again.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid.
And help you.
Good morning, Iowa Legal Aid. How may I help you?
Well, Alex ain't answering his phone, and this has gone on for 4 years, and it would be really odd for Alex to be representing me when I file suit on the 1st of next month, because my landlord is going to cut me some slack and let me use my rent money to sue his ass.
I'll try your line again.
Fortunately, each year many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their lives
There are
with
no
your
lack of
charitable
funds.
contribution. Let us know
When
if
they
you're having
put you
tax
on their
problems.
rolls,
We can help. If you are
they
a
start getting
low-income
money
worker, you may
because
be
you're
eligible
just
for the
on the
Earned
roll.
Income Tax Credit. Ask for
I've been
information
paying
about the
their
Earned Income
salary,
Tax
for
Credit.
Christ's
Your
sake.
line is still busy.
Oh? Well, I suggest you get his ass.
I cannot do that.
Well, that's too bad, because you're going to be answering this phone constantly until I get him.
Well, I put you to his voicemail. He should be calling you back.
He never does. And I have
I'm not his
videotapes on the web.
supervisor. I can't do anything about that.
Well, I suggest you run over to where he is and rouse his drowsy ass.
I'll leave him a message. If he's on the phone, I'm not gonna. I'll just give him a message, okay?
I don't look. You've given him messages. I've given him messages. He constantly never calls me back. Now, if you disconnect on me before you get him, I'm just going to call you right back, and I'm going to let
Okay.
the
I'll go give him a
web
message.
see this.
Bye.
Oh, okay. Well, let's deal with that in my own inimitable way. Listen to this bullshit while we're waiting.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español, favor de oprimir el número 8. If you know the extension of the person
You
you are
see,
calling, please enter it now.
They don't speak
For
English and they don't
that
speak
is
Spanish.
60 years of
They
age or
speak
older,
lie.
please press 3 for the legal hotline for older Iowans. If you have an open case with Iowa Legal Aid or have recently completed an
I don't have an
application
open
for help,
case in
press
this.
0.
He sent me a
Iowa Legal
letter.
Aid does
He
not
signed
handle
off.
legal problems. If you are calling for yourself, are under 60, that is 60 years of age, and do not have a criminal issue, please stay on the line now to go to our application queue. You may be on hold until a screener is able to take your call and complete the application. Thank you for your patience. All other callers, press 0 to speak with a receptionist. Did you know you can apply for help from Iowa Legal Aid online? Go to
I can't do that either.
www.iowalegalAid.org and click on Apply Online.
My
here in the
website
blue
guy
box at the
fronted
top
me
of
the
page.
money
If you want the
for the
message to
computer
repeat,
I'm
press
doing
2.
this on.
Now that's
you for holding. Your call will be taken by the next available application screener. Thank you for your patience. Please remember, Iowa Legal Aid does not handle criminal cases.
They caused
If you
them.
are 60 years of age, that's 60, or older, please press 3 now. We take applications on
I
legal
think I
issues
should
that are
press.
yours.
Let's press
You are
3.
calling for someone with a legal issue.
Let's see what happens when you press 3. Because, you know, she's leaving him a message, which he's not going to answer. I got plenty of time to make these calls. Today I will be calling Transitions. Transitions didn't want to talk to me because I was talking to them about EMTALA, which is not a law that allows you to get into a hospital. It's a law that allows you to try to find a shyster to sue a hospital, which is damn near impossible. This is how your government works for you. When legal aid told me that they would get me into a doctor and they would get my records from this hospital that refuses to treat people that are having heart attacks, for Christ's sake, they throw them out in the street. It's called patient dumping. Needless to say, they never got my records because they're embarrassing to Genesis Health Systems. Well, this is an example, so I'm going to let it ring and pause the video. I'll be right back. To you. I won't be right back to me. I'm going to be listening to this for the next half hour. Now remember how they said I would be talking to the next available screener or whatever they called it. They'll tell me to leave a message. which they will not answer. Yes. I had talked to somebody last week who told me that they were going to get a actual attorney who was not going to be sleeping with the enemy. And I left a couple more messages yesterday. Nobody's gotten back to me. However, the attorney who refused to
So
procure...
what's your name so I can look up your case? What's your first name?
My first name is Jeff. My last name is Soberoff, and you can call me Mr. Soberoff.
Okay, how are you spelling your last name, sir?
S-O-B, and I am. S-O-B-O-R-O-F-F. That's 2 F's, as in Frank.
Okay, hold on a second. I'll have to look up your case. Hold on. Okay, sir, I'm going to put you on hold for a second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
On the home page. We take applications by phone Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., except Thursday afternoon. If you are calling during these times, please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about your income and assets to see if you are eligible. You may need to wait because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics. Click on Need Help Finding Information in the green box if you need help finding information. A website specialist can chat with you by instant message and help you find information. New information is continually being...
Hello, Mr. Sobroff. I'm sorry, I don't see any open cases for you at this time.
Isn't that
When
amazing?
did you start a new application, sir?
I thought I did last week. Listen, when I talked to that person who was so polite and who didn't open that case for me, I kind of lied to her because that's what you do when you're in the intelligentsia. You dispense misinformation or disinformation. Now I am ready to publish online that conversation. Now the attorney who actually for 4 years made certain that I was sleeping in a dumpster because I couldn't afford to pay rent since my Social Security has been slashed for an overpayment which never occurred. And I have the bank records, which I sent to Mr. Cornea 4 years ago. Now, apparently, Mr. Cornea didn't want to work for me. He was working for the federal government. You get paid by the federal government. I've already confirmed that with the LLC that pays the SHYSTERS in Iowa. And I also know that as long as I'm on your rolls with an open case, you get an extra little bit of money for doing that. And of course, you never did. Now, so
I don't know
far,
anything about any of that, sir. So.
well, that's why I'm telling you. You're supposed to collect information, aren't you? I'm giving you
Well,
information.
I'm just trying to figure. Okay,
You're trying to figure out what? You're trying to figure out what? What you've been told is that now I have information that the hotline, which has been pretty cold to me during the last week, didn't even open up a case.
Well,
And I also know,
that you-
excuse me, the attorney that you opened up the case with again has sent me a letter that I received 2 months ago saying that he was closing my case. And you have confirmed that. Now I'm hearing from somebody who is at the Des Moines number that Alex reopened my case, and that is a lie. Because if Alex had reopened my case, you'd know about it because this is all on computer, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, so before I receive any more flack from the flack catcher, which today apparently is you, I would like information as to why somebody in your department lied to me last week. Because you guys are working for attorneys, and that means you're not supposed to lie to me. You're not supposed to lie to me. The people who answer the phone in Des Moines or in the Quad Cities are not supposed to lie to me. And most of all, Alex, who is an attorney, isn't supposed to lie to me. And this had better be taking place in the next few minutes. Now, I would suggest that you get a hold of Alex, you get him to stop ducking my calls and answer this call right now. Because I haven't received any confirmation that he reopened my case, and neither have you.
Sir, you haven't let me say one word, okay? Hold on a second. I'm trying to get out.
Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., except Thursday afternoon. If you are calling during these times, please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about your income and assets to see if you are eligible. You may need to wait because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics. Click on Need Help Finding Information in the green box if you need help finding information. A website specialist can chat with you by instant message and help you find information. New information is continually being added to the Iowa Legal Aid website, so visit our website regularly at iowalegalAid.org. Iowa Legal Aid's community legal education booklet and Equal Justice Journal newsletter are available free of charge to low-income Iowans. To receive Iowa Legal Aid's newsletter,
Nothing is
the Equal
free.
Justice Journal, tell the intake worker or attorney that you want to be
I
added
had
to
to
the
pay
mailing list.
for all of this
Let
by
us know if you have a
sleeping in a
question or a problem
dumpster.
involving a pension or retirement plan. We can help. Iowa Legal Aid provides hope, dignity, and justice to the low-income people of Iowa. Unfortunately, each year many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their lives with your charitable contributions.
Don't
Let us
send
know if
any
you're having
money to
tax
these
problems.
people.
We can
Don't
help.
do it.
If you are a low-income worker, you may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit. Ask for information about the Earned Income Tax Credit.
Won't do anybody any good. And you'll just be pissing your money away.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Someone will be with you shortly. Iowa Legal Aid does not handle
No, they're
criminal
going to
legal
be
problems.
exactly the
You
same
can apply
length
for
they
legal
were
help
when
on
they
our
left the
website,
house.
iowalegalAid.org. Select the Apply Online Here option.
But they
on the
will be
homepage.
short with you.
Take applications by phone
when they're
Monday
talking
through
to you.
Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. except Thursday afternoon. If you are calling during these times, please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about
No,
your
they
income and assets to see if you are eligible. You may need to wait because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics. Click on Need Help Finding Information in the green box if you need help
these
finding
people think
information.
they're
A
presidential.
website specialist can chat with you by instant message and help you find information. New information is continually being added to the Iowa Legal Aid website, so visit our website regularly at iowalegalAid.org. Iowa Legal Aid's community legal education booklet and Equal Justice Journal newsletter are available free of charge to low-income Iowans. To receive Iowa Legal Aid's newsletter, the Equal Justice Journal, tell the intake worker or attorney that you want to be added to the mailing list. Let us know if you have a question or a problem involving a pension or retirement plan. We can help. Iowa Legal Aid provides hope, dignity, and justice to the low-income people of Iowa. Unfortunately, each year many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their...
Sir?
Yes.
Okay. I just spoke with Alex, and he said that the call that you called in on the 13th, they determined that it is not a new issue, and that is why your intake has already been closed, and that you're more than welcome to call back when you have a new intake. And until then, you do not
Well,
have any
good.
intake. Okay?
Take a new
Okay, thank
intake.
you very much, Mr. Sobroff.
And they hung up.
No.
They want to hang up.
No.
They don't want to take a new intake. Well,
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal
they don't
Aid.
want to take a new
Para
intake.
asistencia en español, favor de oprimir el número 8. If you know the extension,
To see if you are eligible...
Iowa Legal Aid, how may I help you?
Well, I just found out that no new intake was taken last week. And Alex said that he'll reopen my case as soon as he has a new intake. And you know, when the person on the hotline told me that she refused to take a new intake and she hung up. Now, right now, I have enough information on this video to really burn your asses. You will connect me with a person
I
who
don't
will
need
take
that
an
language,
intake.
Jeffrey.
Hey, as long as this takes is the worse it's going to look for you. I had to sleep in a dumpster for 4 years because I had to buy guitars so that I can do my trade. Now, you connect me with the person who's supposed to take the intake. Aw, see?
thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español, favor.
Problem. We could...
Okay.
Hello. I'm trying to get a new intake taken. And you know, that was supposed to happen last week. Would you connect me with the hotline for older Americans?
Hold on one moment, please. May I ask who's calling?
Mr. Soboroff.
One moment.
This has gone on for over an hour. But I paused the tape several times because I didn't want you guys sitting in front of your computers for this entertainment to have to wait that long.
Thank you. One moment, please. They are on their line right now.
Well, you know what? I'm on the line too. You connect me with them.
Well, I can transfer you, and you would get a voicemail asking you to leave your name and number.
Well, I've done that three times since last week.
One moment, please.
Now, we already know that the hotline can connect me with Alex, who tells me that who told them there has to be a new intake, and then they hung up. These people work for the federal government who doesn't want to pay you, and you know that because you've been watching the TV. You know, last Saturday, in a secret vote, the Congress and Senate decided to take almost $3 trillion out of the fund that workers have been paying into Medicare. Apparently, they're going to build a wall with it. And you're not going to get medicine, and you're not going to get care. What you're going to get is bupkis. And these people are flat catchers who work for Social Security, and they don't want to pay you. This is not an entitlement you are receiving. You paid into this all of your lives. But they've set up this system, which involves an LLC in Washington, who sends these people money when you have a case with legal aid. And then legal aid refuses to do it because it's a federal agency. And these people get paid by a federal agency. And that is a conflict of interest. Just for your information, dear viewer and reader, you can also read about this on Facebook and every other social website I belong to, and I belong to all of them. And you can also hear and read about this on YouTube and on my website. That address is www.freeworldkgb.freeservers.com. In 13 minutes, you will have been listening to this recording. For an hour, I have talked to 4 people, all of which have hung up on me, including a person who knew they should have taken an intake half of an hour ago. This is not giving dignity to the low income. Doesn't seem that way to me. Does it seem that way to you? What do you think? And for those of you who have been paying into this, expecting that when you're too old to work and when you're forced to retire at the age of 65, because insurance companies won't insure workers who are over 65. When you reach the age of mandatory retirement, this is the mess you're going to be dealing with. Just for your information. I believe I've been hung up on. I have. I have been hung up on again.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español, favor.
On tape.
These are the people who are supposed to take the intake. Alex told them not to take an intake. Your ass is sued, Mr. Cornea.
Thank you for calling the legal hotline for older Iowans and the Pension Rights Project. Our hours are 9 a.m.
Pension
to
rights.
4:30, Monday
You
through
got
Friday.
no fucking
If
rights.
you wish to leave a message, please leave your name and telephone number, including your telephone area code, and your call will be returned. If you are under 60 and wish to reach Iowa Legal Aid, please call 1-800-532-1275. Thanks for calling the legal hotline and have a great day.
This is Mr. Soberoff. You have hung up on me 3 times, and you were supposed to take a new intake last week. What's the deal? My telephone number is only an hour-long video. You've hung up on me 4 times. You refused to take a new intake when you told me you were last week. So you lied to me. You're not supposed to lie to a prospective client. And you guys are, you're like lawyers. You're supposed to have ethics. I don't see any ethics happening here. Do you? Do you? Where is it? Where's my dignity? Where's my money? Where's my check? You know, there's damages that I'm going to be collecting from Mr. Cornea. And that's a lot more than the $12,000 to $15,000 that Social Security owes me in a retro check.
Please speak louder. To replay, press 1. To append this recording, press 2. To erase and please record after the tone. To end, press pound.
They give you about 2 minutes to leave a message. I have left a lot of messages with them over the past week, and I shouldn't have had to leave those messages, but they told me on my first call they would...
Press 1. To append this recording, press 2. To please record after the tone. To end, press pound.
Well, that was less than 2 minutes. Isn't that something? Every time you leave a message with you guys and you press 2, like you cut out a minute of where you're going to take a message. Now you've got my number. Why didn't you call me back? And why didn't you do a new intake when you told me you were doing one? That's fucked up. Don't you think that's fucked up? Jesus freaking Christ. Who do you people think you are? Really? Who do you think you are? I don't know who they think they are. They must think they're somebody. Come on, Nancy Paycheck. Connect me with Mr. Cornea, who told you during a previous call that's on this video that he'll talk to me when I get a new intake. And that person immediately hung up on me. And I'm going to be playing that on YouTube in just a little bit. You know, I've given Alex like 40 minutes. He hasn't called me back yet because I've been making these useless calls. So, I think I will end this call now. And then I'm going to try to get a hold of Alex again. That will be on a different tape.
You have recorded for the maximum time permitted. To replay, press 1. To erase and re-record, press 3. For special delivery options, press 9. To send this message now, press pound. Message delivered. If you know your party's extension number, enter it now. To reach it.
They will not give you your party's extension number ever because they don't want to talk to you. Let's see. Let's call Alex. This is the direct line to Des Moines. I'm gonna sue him. I'm gonna have to sue Mr. Cornea. I have and I got my case has merit. Now you've seen what happens when they don't immediately know. See? Well, let's try calling the local number again. We got 4 minutes
Thank you for
left.
calling Iowa Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español, favor de optar. Thank you for holding. A receptionist will be with you.
Good morning, Iowa Legal Aid. How may I help you?
Well, they're refusing to take a new intake. And I'm wondering, should I just go to the Davenport office
Tell me,
and do
Jumper,
my
is this
intake?
about SSI?
Excuse me. You are not. Look, this is going on the web. Now, do I have to go to the Davenport office to do my intake?
You can, but I talked to the hotline lady just a little bit ago, and she said if it's about SSI, she would do the intake.
Well, you know what this is about? This is about Alex Cornea going to be sued on the 1st. I have already written those documents, and I'm ready to take them to the federal court. Mr. Alex is going to either be disbarred or have a lengthy timeout because they suspend you or disbar you for this kind of crap. That's gone on for 4 years. Now, is Alex there?
Yes, he was just in my office. Just a second.
Equal Justice Journal newsletters are available free of charge to low-income Iowans. To receive Iowa
have to
Legal Aid
pin 'em
newsletter,
down, don't you?
the Equal Justice Journal, tell the intake worker or attorney that you want to be added to the mailing list. Let us know if you have a question or a problem
You don't want to
involving
be
a
on
pension
their
or
mailing
retirement
list
plan.
either.
We can help. Iowa Legal Aid provides hope, dignity, and justice to the low-income people of Iowa. Unfortunately, each year many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their lives with your charitable contributions. Let us know if you're having tax problems. We can...
Okay, he is not answering.
Well, of course. So I'm going to have to go to the local office, right?
Do you want to talk with Janelle?
Janelle got me beaten up. The hospital confirmed that she did exactly what she knew she shouldn't have done. So I think she's going to get a timeout too.
Well, all I can do is put you to Alex's voicemail.
Well, I've already left messages with Alex's voicemail, and he instructed the people who take the intake that he'll only talk to me after there's another intake. And you know what? They hung up on me as soon as I needed, and they were supposed to take an intake last week. I've got a video of them taking an intake.
Let me try Bonnie's line just a second.
Bonnie
Please
who?
because of a large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics. Click on Need Help Finding Information in the green box
Click
if you
on
need help finding information.
Filing
The
in
website
federal
specialist
court.
can chat with you by instant message.
You'll
and help
need
you
to
find
get a
information.
folder they'll give
New
you
information is continually
It
being
tells
added
you all
to
the things
Iowa
you have
Legal
to
Aid
do
website. So
to be
visit our
able to
website
file.
regularly at iowalegal.aid.org.
It tells you what forms you have
Iowa
to
Legal
get.
Aid's community legal
etc.
education booklets and Equal Justice Journal newsletter are available free of charge to low-income Iowans. To receive Iowa Legal Aid's newsletter,
Well,
the
we're
Equal
past
Justice
an
Journal,
hour.
tell the intake worker or attorney
Of course,
that you
this
want
has
to be added
been
to the...
Okay, she said it first needs to be okayed by Alex. I'll try her line again.
My new
It
intake
provides
needs
hope,
to be
dignity,
okayed
and
by
justice
Alex.
for the low-income people of Iowa. Unfortunately, each year many are turned away for lack of funds. You can bring hope into their lives with your charitable contributions. Let us know if you're having tax problems. We can help. If you are a low-income worker, you may be eligible.
The guy threw.
He is not answering right now.
Well,
I can read to his voicemail.
so I'm going to have to do an intake at the local office. Or do they need permission? Do they need permission from Alex too?
I think so.
Oh, so that means you don't. So that means that nobody intends. Nobody.
Let me read you this. It
Nobody.
says, do not open a new case unless assigned to anyone until okayed by Alex.
Well, you know what? That's not what I heard last week. So what I'm going to have to assume, and what the people who are going to see this videotape, because it takes me a second to download it onto YouTube, they're going to see that you don't really want to take an intake, and Alex is blocking it. Alex is and you know what that means? That means damages. I can personally sue him, and I'm going to. On the 1st.
I guess that's up to you.
No, it's not up to me. That's up to Alex. It's up to Alex. It's up to you, and it's up to the director of your department, who has been ducking my calls for 4 years. I don't want his fucking voicemail. Let's talk to Janelle, who got me beaten up. This has been 2 hours and 15 minutes. It took me that long to find out that they're going to hose me. Oh, I forgot. The local office just hangs up out of due course. Well, now the Des Moines office is ducking my calls. Perfect. I guess I'll just have to go there. I will use some spy equipment to make that video. Before I leave, I'm going to publish this on YouTube and Facebook, etc. I really don't like doing this because it takes about 10 minutes. This is Dmitry Ivanovich with The Naked Truth. what I've done is I've hidden my number. Let's see if the Des Moines office will take my call with a hidden number. Or maybe the local office. I think I'll try the local office first.
Thank you for calling Iowa Legal Aid. Para asistencia en español,
Charitable contribution.
Iowa Legal Aid, this is Leslie. How may I direct your call?
Janelle Swanberg, please.
Just one second.
Phone Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., except Thursday afternoon. If you are calling during these times, please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about your income and assets to see if you are eligible. You may need to wait because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics.
There is no law.
Click on Need Help Finding
You can forget
Information
about
in
the
the green
law.
box if
These
you need
people
help
do
finding
not
information.
have ethics.
A website.
Mr. Soborov,
Yes.
she's not able to take your call.
Oh, why?
Because she's not able to take your call. If this is something new, we need to do a new intake. If I need to transfer you to the hotline.
Well, no, the hotline has refused. Look, last week, when I first called the hotline, I talked to a very nice lady, or she appeared to be nice, and she told me she was taking an intake. But apparently, before I called them, Alex told them not to take an intake.
Okay.
So,
Soborov,
why don't you connect me with Mr. Groutman?
because there's not a current case with him right now. So.
Oh, yes, there is. There is a current case. And I just want to know if the local police will be called, and do I have to bring a camera crew with me to the local office? Because this is going to happen today. This has gone on for 4 years. Now on Monday...
Someone will be with you shortly. Iowa Legal Aid does not handle criminal legal problems. You can apply for legal help on our website, iowalegalAid.org. Select the Apply Online Here option on the home page. We take applications by phone Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., except Thursday afternoon. If you are calling during these times, please stay on the line. We will take your call in the order received. A screener will ask you questions about your income and assets to see if you are eligible. You may need to wait because of the large number of calls, but do not hang up. If you are calling for help outside of our application times, please either apply for service online or call back during those times. If you are calling for another reason, please stay on the line. The Iowa Legal Aid website has hundreds of resources. To find information about the law from the home page, click on Legal Topics. Click on Need Help.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello. I'm not really disappointed, but I never knew that when I had called the hotline for older Americans and they told me they were taking an intake, because Alex sent this note that he's dropping my case for no reason. That had no merit. So Alex apparently has called Janelle. Now, do I have to come to your office and do an intake?
No. I mean, our intake system is all over the phone.
Well, the thing is, the people...
What would the intake be about? What are we talking about?
Well, Alex told... I was told last week that I could do a new intake over this Social Security issue, so I gave them all the information they wanted.
Well, no one should...
They did not... Excuse me, let me finish. They didn't take an intake, though. And that
They shouldn't have.
Huh?
They shouldn't have. Your case is closed. We're not doing that case.
Oh, you're not going to do it at all.
No, that's what that letter means. Your case, we're not taking
But
that case.
the thing is, Alex threw my bank information away. He had that 4 years ago. I can prove it. It's from the U.S. Bank. You kept me waiting for 4 years. That means that you're all co-defendants.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, look, there's a guy named Moeller who tells me that under the circumstances, you're all co-defendants because you've been hosing me for 4 years, that you had everything that you needed to have to send to Social Security, which proves there never was an overpayment. I was never charged with an overpayment. And the local office decided that they were just going to say that, as they probably have done to other people. So you're all co-defendants.
Co-defendants?
I have been told by my landlord that I don't have to pay him my rent next month, and it will only cost me $400 to take you all into federal court.
No. Jeff, if you want to do something about your Social Security case, you need to find an attorney who's going to represent you in it.
I am.
Okay.
Okay. So the first people I'm going to sue is going to be the people who made sure I was sleeping in a dumpster for the better part of 4 years. That, Mr. Groutman, is Janelle and Catherine Alexander. And you.
I have no idea how I had anything to do with where you were sleeping.
Well, you lied to me.
I lied to you about what?
Well, you told me I was only going to get $40 a month on my food stamps. But that's not true, because right now I'm getting $100. I had to do that myself.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Jeff.
I know. You know that I recorded every visit I had with you.
Well, that's fine.
Well, I don't, and I'm legally entitled to do that since I can take advantage of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I don't even have to tell you I'm recording you.
Okay.
Now,
Jeff, if you have an attorney who's doing your federal court case, I recommend...
No, I am told that I can do that myself, and it only costs me $400 to file. I've never lost in front of an administrative law judge. And I won't lose this either, because I have every conversation that I've had with your offices and with Des Moines on the video. It's like I'm Mort Saul. I'm talking to a telephone. But it's not very humorous. Not very humorous at all. And for a week, the hotline for older Americans lied to me. Now, this is good. And now, is your office going to take my grievance? Or do I have to send it directly to Washington, where your LLC is that pays you? Now, the thing about that is that, I have an open case. They pay you money. So you guys
if
have...
you're filing a grievance about Alex's decision not to
No. I'm not only
Oh.
filing a grievance about that. I'm filing
No.
a grievance about the fact that you lied to my face about $40 worth of food stamps when I should be getting $100. You also lied to me in a letter that I received from Catherine Alexander that I couldn't go back home. Now I received a second copy of that letter, and you know a word processor is a wonderful thing. So I've got both of those examples of Catherine Alexander lying to me because I could go back home. And in the second letter that she sent me, she took that part of that letter out. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. Then I have a recording that I made with an administrator at Genesis West. And she informed me that when Janelle Swanberg talked to them 4 days before I was beaten up, she told those people that instead of getting a note to go to nuclear medicine or to a neurologist in Iowa City, what she told them to do was to commit me. I've got that recorded. Now, during that, I was beaten by a guy who is an off-duty pig. I've also got pictures of this guy standing in front of Shenanigans in a crowd of people who are exchanging snow seals for money.
Okay, Jeff. I don't know what to. I don't know
So
what to tell you.
and now this. Well, look. This call has taken me 2 hours and 31 minutes. It took me that long to find out that you guys have been hosing me since last week, when I was told that you were going to do a new intake. Alex told me that you were going to do a new intake. But you know, it's not unusual for Alex to lie to me. Now you're
It's unusual for a client to call up after they've got a letter saying we're not representing you, to call back up and think we are going to just do a new intake and take a case. It doesn't.
Yes,
No,
but the thing is, I was told by the Des Moines office and by the intake person on the hotline for older Americans that you were taking an intake.
Well, I don't know why they would have told you that we're.
Well,
doing
they
an intake
told
on a
me
case we're
that.
not gonna
There's a
represent.
reason
That's
why they
crazy.
told me that.
What's the what?
There's a reason.
What's the reason?
Well, the thing is, you guys wanted to cause me emotional distress. And you know, in Iowa, besides being against the rules and the law, that involves punitive damages.
Well, Jeff, I don't know what to
So,
tell you.
look, you can laugh all you want.
Well, I'm
But
just-
you know
where
what?
are you going with all
I
this?
don't know where I'm going. Well, I
Okay.
don't know. Since you're only a paralegal, I don't know if they're going to give you a timeout or a suspension, or just make it so that you can't be a paralegal anymore. But you know, but I got a federal attorney here that says that everybody's going to suffer,
Okay.
just like I've been suffering.
So you got an attorney to help you.
Now,
on
well,
your
you know,
social media.
look. I
Okay,
didn't.
good.
Look. All I needed him to. All he told me was that you guys owe me punitive damages, and you guys owe me out of your pockets.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to find it interesting. This is Dmitry Ivanovich with The Naked Truth.